there. That's how the relationship started. So gay, such a secret
So gay.
Secret gay relationships.
Hello and welcome to Incomplete Geeks, a gay geek podcast where we talk about all sorts of geeky things. Sometimes our knowledge is great, sometimes it's a little bit
Incomplete.
My name's Nick. His name's John. Remember it.
Oh, yes.
I had to
Yeah.
pause there because I was like, what the fuck was I going to say? And welcome for the last time we talk about X-Men 97 Season 1.
For the last time this year, shall we say. Because it's coming back.
Well, they've already done Season 2.
What, like recording and...
Yeah.
Oh,
They produced it back to back, so it's just how long they want to drag it out. Because
Oh,
I immediately,
really?
the second I finished that episode, I canceled Disney Plus because I was like, I'm not.
Did ya?
Just because I'm like, fuck you for putting ads, fuck you for not letting me share passwords. So I was
Oh.
like, I will pay for Disney Plus when there's something on Disney Plus. I'm not just gonna have it running in the background.
Are they doing that now? I didn't realize. I'm just paying.
No.
Paying the increased amount.
Yeah.
I'm just like. Well, the thing is, like, we watch other stuff as well.
If you're using it, fine. But I
yeah.
get every other thing, and I end up watching
Yeah.
repeats of,
Yeah.
Family Guy. So.
Tom at the moment is into Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, I liked season 1, but she's a bit of a Zionist, so I can't.
What?
Yeah, a lot of
man.
or most of Hollywood,
Everybody's-
most of Hollywood are. So it's like if I know about it, I can't really ignore it. But if I
Mhm.
don't know about it,
The
go.
moral of the story is keep your
Just
keep
don't
your shit
fucking
to
go on
yourself.
social media if you want to have any joy in your life.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about the moral of the story for performers. You're talking about the moral of the story for yourself. Just don't go on social media. Yeah, exactly.
Also, performers, just don't go on social media. Don't be on social media
That as
if
well.
you're a hateful person.
And if you are on there, talk about like bunnies or
No,
or
don't,
cute
because if
kittens.
you have a platform, you should be using it. Anyway, so
Let's not go down that trail.
it's so dark. The world is so dark these days.
Indeed. Let's be the light in their
Let's be the
darkness.
light. You know what is the light? Fucking X-Men 97.
X-Men fucking 97. Before we get,
But first,
first of all, spoilers later on when we start talking about it. And
Yes.
if you haven't seen it, I don't usually say this, but I will say it for this. Fucking go see it.
what are you
Just
what are
see
you
it.
listening to us for? You really need to shut the fuck up. Turn us off. Watch X-Men 97 and then come back and hang out with
Yeah,
us. then.
exactly. Please do, and please tell all your friends as well, because it was such a joyous event.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because other times I'd be like, it's okay if you don't want to, if you don't care so much, just listen to us ramble about it. But no, fucking go see it. So anyway, but before we do that, Nicholas, I've got something to add for our Geekery of the Weekery.
Previously on X-Men.
Geekery of the Weekery.
I don't know why we paused. It's the magic of editing.
I
You
just want to
do it.
know that there's a nice big chunky pause.
You like big chunky paws? Is that why I like bears so much? They got big chunky paws.
Don't judge me for that.
I do not judge you. I'd like to talk about the other premiere that happened this weekend.
Okay.
Do you know what this is? The geeky thing, and very
I've got
gay.
3
You got 3.
that I've just remembered the third one.
Okay,
But they're not premieres, they're trailers.
right. Okay, I've got a show that premiered. Its
Okay, go.
First bracket season. Even though it's really like the what is it technically? I don't know. They've rebooted it so many times.
I will reboot.
Yeah, I know,
They
right?
seem to keep finding us.
But they're calling it okay. I'm talking about Doctor Who.
Oh! Yeah, you would have known I wouldn't talk about that. Okay.
It is very gay and it's very geeky, and and it's surprising. I'm still amazed how I'm the American and you're the British person, and I'm the one who's into it. But that's because of one of my exes, and basically, so it started. I started again this past weekend, as of the date they were recording. I think they had 2 episodes come out the same day. And they're calling it season 1 again because this is the first season with it's kind of like a joint venture with
No, so what?
Oh, I thought you were like pausing because you wanted to. You were hearing something.
No, I was trying to see if you were going to pronounce his name right. Because
Oh.
I only just saw a TikTok that even he pronounced his name wrong for like 25
Really?
years. Yeah, he used to say it's like, my name is
Shuti Gatwa.
Yeah, and then like his mum saw him on a press tour. Was like, "What are you talking about? Your
Why
name's Nchuti." He's
Oh, really?
like, "What? I've been saying my own name wrong."
In Judy.
Like because obviously it's a
Judy. Yeah.
the.
I don't know what language it comes from, but I should have known.
I don't. I haven't done the research, but
Yeah.
he was like, "Been saying my own name wrong."
Yeah, that's
It's not
hilarious.
Nchuti. Like a.
Nchuti.
We're no, I can't say.
I know,
But yes,
we're-
anyway.
It's art. Yeah.
Back-
Right. So we've got Juti Gatwa as the Doctor. No, I was going to say it's the first season where the BBC have kind of it's sharing the rights with Disney Plus, and so in the UK it's all BBC, but in I think the rest of the world it's Disney Plus has the rights to it. That's why here in the UK we get a lot of shows on Disney Plus that are in like Hulu in America.
Yeah.
So that's just the way that the regions do it. But because Disney Plus has, I heard about this on a different podcast, but because Disney Plus is putting a lot of money into it, that means that they can do a lot more with like CGI stuff, and they've got such bigger budgets for these grand stories. And we've got Russell T Davies coming back, who is the person who basically brought it back after that long hiatus in the early noughties, and we love him. Listen to our Doctor Who episode if you want to; it's very good. But he's back, and we've got Disney, and so it's big budget, and we have 2 episodes that came out last weekend. The premiere, which kind of sets the tone, and then episode 2, which featured Jinx Monsoon.
I've seen a lot of the clips of Jinx Monsoon
as the villain.
She's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, she's a bit over the top, but I think that's exactly
point,
what they
right?
wanted her to do. And she's very good. There's a bit, it's a bit over the top, but it fits the character. And if you know the story about who this character,
Is it an established character? Or
no, it isn't actually, but it's related to one.
Ooh.
So do you remember in the 3?
No.
There's a 3.
No.
Do you remember that there were 3?
No.
Okay. Neil Patrick Harris played a villain previously, not too long ago, just before Christmas time.
No.
Oh, no, it was Christmas time.
In Doctor Who?
Neil Patrick Harris played a character, a villain, in the 3rd of the 3 specials that they did around Christmas, which introduced Ncuti Gatwa because David Tennant was kind of transformed into Ncuti Gatwa, and that's how they sort of started it. Anyway, Neil Patrick Harris was a character called the Toy Maker, which was an established character from like way back when, like the 60s era. And from what I understand, it's a character that can do kind of crazy things with reality, and so that's their opportunity to do a lot of stuff with CGI. And so the Jinx Monsoon character is related to that character, and so it's like the kind of starting a new sort of the branching out with brand new characters in a way, but still tying it to the old stuff, which is great.
Do they normally do new characters? Or
They do a
rehash
mix.
Old ones?
They do a mix. So like they will once in a while they'll like bring some random sort of monster back from the 70s, but they'll do it updated, and people are like, what, why, whatever, okay, fine. And then other times there was the classic ones like the Daleks or the Cybermen, like they always come back. But they do new ones, and basically if it's a hit, they might bring it back again. If it's not, they'll just leave it as a one-off thing. Like it's very flexible like that way. I do feel like the new show is bringing back more of the scariness. I feel like the previous showrunners kind of lost that a little bit. Russell T Davies, when he brought it back in the noughties, it did have some scariness in it. And then it became a bit more sort of family friendly or whatever. It still feels a bit sort of geared towards children, but it definitely has a scarier element to it, which is good in my opinion, because that's what it always used to be back in the 70s and 60s, 70s, and 80s. It was always like scary for children kind of thing. And obviously the budget was different, so now we have a great big budget, and it looks great. And Ncuti Gatwa is a fantastic Doctor so far.
How many episodes have they done?
They've 2.
Okay.
So
And
episode
is it going to
3
be weekly?
It will be weekly, yes. And there's a bit of thing because obviously in America, it premieres on Disney Plus like at midnight or whatever, so it actually comes out before the BBC broadcast, which Russell T Davies is not very happy about. But what can you do? You know?
Battles.
Yeah, so there's mystery in it. There's a lot of flamboyance. You know, the episode with Jinx Monsoon had like they went back to go visit the Beatles basically, and so stuff like that. And it is There's still an element of fun, and it looks great. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it. Yeah, that's my geekery.
Okay.
So do my other one now.
You have another one?
I do have another one. Just
Okay.
very briefly.
Okay.
I finished watching Fallout TV show.
Yes.
And obviously this is a video game tie-in. It was the first time that they've sort of made anything from this franchise.
Yeah.
I haven't really played the games in any great amount. My brothers both have, my partner has, and so we're watching it together, and I'm just watching it for like the story.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I know that character. He's from the blah 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 game." Or like this, or there's like a set piece that's some sort of store. I forget the name of everything, but he's like, "Oh, look, it's blah 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 supermarket, whatever," and it's like a thing. For me, it all seems fun. So, at the end of this show, not to spoil anything, but I was really frankly surprised about how not just how good it was, but also how much of a story it had, considering it's a video game story, if that makes sense. So, it's obviously set in the future, like a post-apocalyptic nuclear war has happened, and you follow these characters that are basically called vault dwellers that have been living underground for 200 years, whatever, because they think this surface is too radiated or whatever. But there's people on the surface anyway, and there's other monsters and whatever else. And through the TV show, you learn more about what the purpose of those people are, and then by the end of it, I was left thinking, oh gosh, that's actually a really sort of interesting thing to say about humanity and like what humans would do in the event of a nuclear disaster kind of thing, and like how it was kind of a commentary, not just like a fun game like go shoot zombies whatever, but actually sort of a really good, interesting story. And because I had no background with that kind of story, I was pleasantly surprised by this TV show.
Is it fun and inspiring or depressing as hell?
It leans more towards depressing.
I can't do.
But the thing is,
I just can't do this.
It is a bit, but it's depressing sort of story overall. But the episodes themselves are really silly on occasion. Like they do ridiculous things, because of the technology, whatever. And a couple characters that are like, "What? Why are you doing this? You're so dumb." But it's actually sort of the thing is, even though it's depressing, it's still fun. In a way, like the story, the journey is fun. If the overarching "why did humans do this" is a bit sort of like ugh.
Okay.
Yeah, and all the little Easter eggs they put in that Tom was like, "Oh, it's supermarket, blah blah blah," and it didn't really detract for me because I didn't know them. Really, a great cameo by Matt Berry as well.
Fun.
Yeah, if you know who that is, he's great. And it was good. I was really surprised. So I may have to go back and play the games now. I'll add it to my list.
I'm wondering if it's worth a watch. Will I get an idea if I like it from the first episode? So, like, if I watch the first episode, is that enough? Or I know the first episode sets it up.
Yeah, I think because the last time we talked about this, I had watched the first 2 episodes. I think you need to watch the first 2. You'll know by then because the first episode kind of sets up these characters, but they're kind of different stories.
I will consider it.
Consider it.
I will add it to the list.
I will happily talk about it if you want to consider it again.
Sure.
So yeah, that's what happened in my week.
You ready for mine?
How about you, Nicholas? What's been going on in Nick's world?
Mine aren't as exciting. Well, they're more exciting. No offense, but they haven't happened yet, so they're not.
It's trailers though. The trailers have
3
happened.
trailers.
Yeah.
1 trailer,
which is great because I love speculation and all this stuff.
Which is 3 trailers. I have not watched 2 of them, so
I'm
not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to
We're gonna
contribute. No, but you might have
the fact that the trailers have been out.
So, House of the Dragon trailer, another one came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I haven't watched it because I don't want to. I'm watching.
Right.
I'm going to watch the show anyway.
Yeah.
I don't need spoilers. I know what happens because I've read the fucking book. So I haven't watched it, but I was wondering if you had. But it's also mainly just like we're 1 month until it's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Mid-June, and I was like, thank God.
Thank God we've got stuff to talk about on this podcast.
We can do, and we can I can make that my entire personality now that X-Men 97 is finished.
Oh, you poor thing.
I can do that. The other trailer, which I didn't bother watching. Oh no, was it a trailer or a teaser? No, Rings of Power. Season 2.
You know what? I was on I was on social media and I saw it and I was like, ooh, trailer, and I tapped it. It was just the
teaser.
It was just no, it wasn't even the teaser. It was like a video saying if the teaser comes out tomorrow, and I was like, why am I watching this?
I'm so uninterested that I didn't even check back to see the real thing. I just wondered if you had. No?
I would have if I thought about it, but you know my brain. This is like completely, you know. Anyway, there's a trailer. I'm gonna watch it.
We could watch it. What, you're gonna watch the whole show again?
No. I'm gonna watch the show when it comes out. I don't need like you said. I don't need to watch the trailer to get excited about it.
Are you
I'm
gonna
already
watch the
excited.
show? Do I have to watch the show?
If you didn't like the first season, then
I
don't.
hated the first season.
I'll watch it.
I think on record in episode insert number here
3.
it was quite
there
early.
were
Several ones we talked about how much I disliked that show. Although the finale was half decent and Sauron's hot.
Sauron's hot. I mean, there's a lot of mystery still. I didn't quite like the very very end of it though, when it with the whole like, why do you have to hint at the dragon coming out or whatever, the Balrog?
It's the only bit I liked.
It was just but it was just there to
make it interesting.
I wanted to watch the story. I was interested in the characters, and you were interested in the fucking just bring up the Balrog and. Whatever.
No, I wanted to watch the story of the homeless Irish hobbit, dirt-ridden poor shit people.
Oh, that was boring.
Fuck
that was
off. Anyway, I've ranted enough about that.
We'll talk about it when it comes out.
Maybe.
I'll talk about it when it comes
begrudgingly. And the other trailer that came out, which I did watch, which I was not expecting so soon, Dune Legacy.
Oh, I didn't even know this was out.
It's 10,000 years before the films.
Before
Paul Atreides, and it's about the establishment of the Bene Gesserit, which I knew was gonna be a spin-off. Like, I heard when the second film came out, it's like, oh, apparently they're workshopping this thing, like the formation, how they started the Bene Gesserit. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's an HBO show.
Okay,
where they're gonna do how these powerful manipulative women decided to be powerful manipulative women, and you're just gonna establish that. And I'm like, that sounds amazing. And the fucking trailer came out, and it comes out in September.
A TV show? Oh, fantastic.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited.
I'm surprised because I thought Dune Legacy was going to be the name of the third film.
So did I. Because that's the name of... I thought it was the name of the book, right?
See, again, my partner's into this. He read all the books. It was confusing as fuck, but he...
What's the second book called?
Dune... Not Chapter House, Dune. We could just look it up, yeah.
Okay, no, wait. So, no, I'm wrong. It's Dune Prophecy is the name of the TV show.
Right. Okay.
Legacy must be the name of the book, right?
No, I don't know.
Oh, God, we're so stupid.
Because Dune...
We are such incomplete geeks.
I want to say... I did guess Chapter House Dune, but whatever. Chapter House Dune is one of them. It could be like 3 or 4. Let's see who gets there first.
Anyway, it's called Dune Prophecy, not Dune Legacy. Similar. But actually makes much more sense if you're talking about magical women. Is it Mark Strong that's in it?
I don't know anything about this. I didn't know that you're telling me that.
Ooh, Travis Fimmel.
Oh, okay.
Mark Strong, Olivia Williams. She'd be really good. And a load of young skinny people.
So, Messiah, Dune Messiah.
Messiah!
Okay.
Fuck me up.
Children of Dune. Chapter of Dune is the last one. God, I'm so stupid. I did say Children of Dune. That's book number 3. But I don't think... The thing is... Okay, a couple things.
That's fine. We're not complete geeks.
We're not complete geeks, yeah. God, imagine us being complete geeks. I think I'll find Chapter of Dune was the book number 5.
Actually, I think you'll find...
Nothing wrong if you are that person, but that's fine. But we're not.
If you are, please write in to incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com and tell us we're idiots.
Yeah, we love hearing from you.
We'd love to hear from you.
If it's... fine. Do that. So basically, the Dune books, first 2 are
We've
kind of...
got to do a Dune episode. We need an expo.
We
need
will.
Someone who's a really good Dune...
My partner's read them all.
Okay.
It's not gay, though. It's
no,
not...
we're gay.
I know. What?
We do. We're gay.
Spoilers.
The content's geeky.
Fine.
2 years we've been doing this.
I know, right?
We're so... Anyway, so there's going to be a show coming out in September on HBO, so the budget's going to be insane. The costumes are going to be insane.
Okay.
The actors are going to be incredible, and people can die and show their tits.
And it's 1,000
and
years...
possibly penis. 10,000 years before.
10,000 penises.
Yeah,
Ah,
10,000
yes.
penises.
The author of the books, Frank Herbert, this was his magnum opus, and then he passed away before he did anything else, as far as I know. But he had so many notes on these characters and so much backstory about the characters and the world that his son, Christopher, kept writing books, but all of his books were prequels. So he basically took all of the notes that his father had done about this world and went into the backstory and was talking about like this AI war that had happened.
That's what I'm so fascinated about. I want.
So
the
I'm wondering
backstory.
if this prophecy is going to be based
Possibly.
on his book, his work, because it's still then indirectly based on Frank Herbert's work. And all I'm saying about
he'll still get paid. Don't worry.
I think there's only going to be 3 movies, which makes sense because of the book story kind of jumps way ahead in the future and gets a bit bonkers anyway.
Yeah, with the kid that turns into a worm, right?
Exactly. Yes. The kid that turns into a worm, not even the one that's in the womb. Oh wait,
no, Paul's kid turns into a worm.
Oh yeah, Paul's kid.
That's his.
Paul has
that's
2.
in the womb.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Paul has 2 kids, and one of them becomes the God Emperor. Which is like half human, half sandworm, and reigns for like 10,000 years or something like that. Or something like that. So fun! I'm excited. I'll watch those.
I'm so oh my god. The main gripe I had with the June films, especially the first one, was like, it's gorgeous and I love it, but God, I really wanted it to be a TV show. I really wanted it to be a long political space drama drawn out with intrigue and backstabbing and space politics with amazing sets and gorgeous costumes and brilliant actors.
And you're gonna get something like that
now I'm gonna get that in September.
And I'm assuming they're filming already. They didn't call me.
September.
Is it done filming already?
Yes.
Oh, damn, they didn't call me.
It'll be done. It's editing final bits.
Come on, Nina Gold.
They'll do a season 2.
I've emailed you
and
so
they're
many
holding
times.
on. It's like we need a gigantic American guy for season 2.
I'm working out now.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for you to call me. Anyway, great.
Quite a healthy Geekery of the Week for you. We haven't done one of those in ages because I haven't given a shit about anything else. Other than...
I mean, it's summer now, so things are going to happen.
Has it been like crap TV for like months and just waiting to put everything out over summer? It feels like this, apart from...
Yeah, apart from Dune, there's been a lot of crap films as well.
Crap films. Oh, I saw the 8 one.
The Planet of the Apes one?
The Kingdom of the Planet?
Yeah. Was it?
Oh,
it's really big.
Finish.
It's big in America.
Just finished.
It's like number 1, I think.
It's the 5th fucking remake of this 19... Oh my God.
I know.
Shut up.
What about that Ryan Gosling film and Emily Blunt?
I haven't seen it. I'm sure it'd be cute, but I just don't really care.
Yeah. It's based on a TV show.
Oh.
That nobody ever watched.
No, there we go.
So there you go. Let's move on to our main story.
Shall we talk about X-Men?
Let's talk about X-Men 97.
I can't remember what happened. I'm too emotional.
I watched it twice.
Well, I only watched the whole thing through all the series once. So I might do a nice binge recap before my Disney Plus license runs out.
That's a good idea. A couple episodes I watched more than once because I watched it once by myself and once with my partner. we watched it all together with my partner. But for example, when I recorded myself live reacting to this finale, that was actually on Thursday when Tom was in the office. So I was like, oh. And then I watched it with him again that evening.
I'm trying to find. I want like a little recap bullet points.
I'll tell
I remember
you.
everything.
I watched it yesterday.
I'm useless at remembering everything that happened in order. And I found a good one, but
Okay, so it starts with. Do we just recap the episode? It starts with Professor X, a young Professor X, and a young Magnus in what seems like post World War II bar. They're drinking together. Such gay undertones.
I was just gonna say one of the few reactions they had was gay.
I said gay so many times. I was like gay.
And I had to do a supercut of all the gay bits. That'd be fun.
I even said gay when I rewatched it with Tom. I was just like gay. Anyway, the story gay. So they're talking in the bar,
yes,
and it's like they're talking about mutants, and Magneto's like, trying to play it all cool, like you should run if you are a mutant before they
Mm.
think about cages, and then
Yeah. Well, camps.
camps. What did I say? Cages, camps. You're right. And then Charles outs himself by zapping
Yeah.
into his mind. Do you think Charles knew that Magnus was a mutant by that point, or was it just him?
No, for Gaines, no.
Yeah, so it was like a big risk in his part then. But anyway, he says into his mind that I can bend with my will, and Magneto does it's animated so well. He's like looking around, and he doesn't even say. He just says, "Metal bends to my will," which by itself isn't like, for any bystanders doesn't mean anything. But that's how the relationship started. So gay, such a secret gay. Secret gay relationships. Okay, and then,
So then they.
then
they
they
figure out the thingy psychic fights start then?
yeah, because the
I don't
outside
really
turns
care
into
about
water
this.
or whatever.
Yeah, blah blah blah. Okay.
Not to go into too much detail, but then we're back on the real world. Kind of touch base with who's in space and who's on the ground fighting Sinister
they're in
and
space for
Bastion.
that. So Bastion and Sinister. The next paragraph. It says
Okay,
and
Bastion and
hold
Sinister.
The X-Men.
Yeah, so is it Beast and Forge and Storm are being held by Sentinels, and then Cable's under control of Sinister because he's got a little diamond in his head. Is that a comic thing?
Sinister has a diamond in his forehead, but
Yeah, not Cable.
No.
Okay, I did wonder.
No, and because Madeline had one as well.
Mhm.
And it's just to show that Sinister's possessing and controlling you.
Right.
But no, that's not.
But
not
does
a thing,
Sinister
but
have that kind of control over Cable in the comics?
No,
Okay,
he wishes.
that's fine. So basically, he does a little pontificating, whatever. A little, some Bastion is like, "You stupid mutants," blah 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 blah, and then confrontation, and then Phoenix comes out of the water with the big Phoenix thing,
And then she's done, and then she goes, and then she's not Phoenix anymore, and that's
and
it.
she puts the
She
little
puts the
head
scrambler back together.
back together.
She rips
on his
the
head.
DNA out of Sinister and makes him a cruddy old crow, which is awesome. And I love how when
And
she
he-
comes out, Storm starts giggling. Love it.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Take that, bitches.
Take that, bitch.
It's great. She sounds great. She looks great. Sinister being a aged, wrinkled old thing,
Yeah.
and then tells Morph to show me what I look like.
The first thing he
looks
does-
the same to me.
First thing he does is run to Morph, like, "Show me what I look like."
It's like you can just look in the water.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was gonna do. Like,
It's
whatever.
weird, but let Morph have his moment.
That's fine.
And then Jean faints.
Jean faints. Cable catches her. Oh, and she breaks his control.
Yeah, sure.
And then she's like,
The
it's
Phoenix is
it's gone now. But I felt it pulling me. I was a bit confused at that point. Let's be honest.
My criticism with the show is just the fact that they try and do too much.
Yep. That I totally agree with
That
that.
was
And that was my overall
Jean
take
becoming
as well.
the Phoenix again, and then releasing the Phoenix, saying, "I don't need you anymore."
But where was it before?
In like 2 minutes, and we're done with that storyline. Are we?
Yeah. I didn't get it. I'm like, where does the Phoenix come from then? She's like, "I am Phoenix," and then she's not Phoenix anymore.
There was a story of that. So when Jean died in 2001, she was starting to become the Phoenix again, kind of retconning the retcon to say that she was the Phoenix. It's not the thing. Then she died. And then when she eventually came back just before Krakoa, it was a weird mini-series. It was confusing. She was in a town with a memory wipe. Anyway, she just kind of came back
As Phoenix.
as Jean without a memory, and then started becoming the Phoenix again. And then she's like, "No, we don't need each other." And then Phoenix left, so that she could just be. It's kind of like we're not doing this again.
Yeah.
Jean can just be Jean.
Very
just
plot
before the
devicey.
Krakoa stuff. So
Okay, well,
yeah, but also very not really satisfying. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for the Phoenix-ness of it. Like we could have saved that for season 2.
it was a plot device. It happened.
It was fun,
But it
so-
broke Bastion's control over all of the people, I guess.
Yes, because he's got the thingamajiggy on and that sort of stuff.
And that was all they needed to do.
That's
with
what
it.
they needed to do. And that's what they needed to do before Magneto could undo the EMP.
Right, yeah. So
the-
all these human
The
sentinels.
Prime Sentinels. Prime
all-
Sentinels?
Maybe. That
Sounds
sounds
right.
right. Falling out of the sky. Oops.
Fuck you, Trish Tilby. You suck
Trish Tilby, yeah.
ass.
Like, why?
It's like they don't know what they're doing. They all volunteered, Hank. every single one of them volunteered.
They
They
all
fucking
did, yeah.
knew they hate mutants. and
There's a
shit
lot
like
of
that.
words about like saying, "Oh, I could have used slaves or camps or whatever," but he used volunteers.
Volunteers.
He didn't say that though, but I thought he should have. Um, yeah, I don't think they should get any passes,
No, fuck
any
you, Trish.
reprieves.
You suck.
So then Bastion grabs Cable's arm, rips the arm off, and
Then he turns into Super Bastion.
and he's just like, well, he bashes Cable with his own arm for which I think is hilarious. I had to explain to Tom as well that this is future technology, so he's just assimilating it somehow, making it into like the arm
It's a
itself.
techno-organic virus, right?
No,
You
I thought it was,
understand
I thought it was cured of that.
Nope.
Oh well, no, I don't.
Oh, so no, he's not cured of it, but he uses his telekinesis to keep the techno-organic virus at bay.
Oh,
That's his whole deal. Because otherwise, he would be
dead.
no. Well, if he didn't have yes, he would be dead. But without the techno-organic virus, he would be gene times whatever, like so powerful. But because he has to use his powers to keep himself from dying every second of every day,
Oh,
that's his kind of twist limitation.
oh,
You'll find out more about that in season 2.
of
X-Men 97.
Okay,
You will. That's a really big part of his character. But yes, so that's techno-organic, like the Phalanx. Do you remember them? Did you ever see them?
I didn't actually get that far, but I remember you talking about it.
Kind of, yeah, not Borg. It's not Borg. It's a virus and that sort of stuff.
Gotcha.
So that's why it absorbs into him and he turns into
Okay, Super Match,
Super
whatever it is.
Bastion.
Which again felt like we're like, okay, this is a new thing, but it is a kids show, so I'm gonna.
It's also in the comics.
Is it in the comic? Okay.
Yeah, he looks
No, I'm not
exactly
sorry.
like that in the comics, like in the what is it, Second Coming thing, which is
Well-
a really dark one and a really good. And one thing I'm really pleased is, like the second he turned into that in the big fight in the comics when he kind of shows up looking like that, is this big fight trying to save Hope, blah blah blah, and Nightcrawler teleports and Bastion puts his arm through him, so he teleports into Kurt's chest and kills him.
Kills Kurt.
Yeah. So he
Oh.
didn't in the show. Thank fucking God. Because the second he turned into that, I was like, no, come
No,
on.
Kurt.
You've just got your title card. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Anyway,
Kurt.
sorry. Yes, I distracted. But yeah.
No, but I got a side question as well then now because you mentioned
Go.
because you brought it up. We haven't talked about this for a few weeks, and so I haven't told you how much I don't know about this character Bastion, and so
We kind of started talking about it, didn't we? Maybe it was on the live when we were drunk off our ass.
probably have. If you want to hear more of those, dear listener, follow
We
us on
need to
TikTok.
remember to do them because we're not 100% sure we know how to do a proper TikTok live, but
We'll
we
figure
just
it
got
out.
drunk and talked.
Follow us on TikTok at Incomplete Geeks. Like all the stuff while you're there, and say hi. So yeah. So this character did he appear in the original series at all? They kind of
Haven't seen
mentioned
it.
it. No, okay, fine. So it was brand new to me. Like all the stuff is brand new. That's all I wanted to ask you really. So basically, he flies up. He tells the heroes down on the ground like what he's gonna do. And he flies up to Asteroid M with the intention of bringing it down on people. So Jean obviously contacts Scott and everything upstairs, up in space. And Jean, you're okay. And how's Cable? Oh, he hurt my son. I'm gonna kill him. Whatever. And then Bastion appears, and there's a fight. And my favorite part of the episode happens when Rogue is like, his name is Gambit. Remember it. Pow! I was like, yeah.
Eat shit, Bastion. You suck.
Yeah,
And she
That
cute,
felt so
she did a
good.
cute little speech beforehand, didn't she? When she was like, the cards never in the X-Men's favor.
yeah,
but
I
we
love
always-
that. But the odds,
Fucking great
yeah,
writing. Fucking great Rogue. Lenore Zan kicking ass.
That was
I love
great.
her. Okay.
So
I can't remember any.
Sunspot joins the fight,
Yeah.
and I was like,
obviously
why is it just them two? But it's because they're the only ones who can fly that are out in space.
Yeah.
He basically sort of pushes them out, and he goes back into the space asteroid. There's Scott and Jubilee and Nightcrawler who are fighting.
Yeah.
Jubilee does her fun buzzsaw move that she learned
Yeah.
from
From older Jubilee.
Obel Jubilee, who's got a name, but I
But we've
forget.
forgotten it.
Which is interesting.
Fun.
He's like, "What are you gonna do? 4th of July me to death?" And she's like, "Not heard that one before." Sarcastic line. It was dumb.
I love Jubilee in this series.
Yeah,
She's
what else
so
can you
much
do with
more
her?
fun.
But yeah,
Anyway, sorry, carry
But
on.
but she does kind of blast him, which is a bit odd because
Yeah.
he's meant to be super duper powerful with all this technology and stuff. But she just blasts him, whatever. And there's a bit more speeching.
And a lot of one thing, like, I'm not a big gamer, but so much of the action sequences look just like the Konami arcade game.
Mhm.
And there's like a clip where Cyclops pulls off his visor. Oh no, that might be later.
Oh,
And it looks just like a lot of the moves they do are
okay.
from the arcade game,
Yeah.
like the X-Men versus Street Fighter game and that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah, not played that
so
one.
it looks just like that. Well, it was the 90s.
Nice.
Playing it in the bowling alleys and that sort of stuff.
Oh yes, I did have
Remember
a lot
that.
of that as well. No, he takes his visor off later when he's trying to bring the asteroid
That's
down,
the
I suppose.
thing. Yep.
But then he mentions he sees a sentinel coming in. He's like, "Oh, this is my family, whatever."
Oh yeah, something about family. Yep.
something about
It's my family, but it's not.
It's the grounds crew, Team
gold
Gold
team.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Why do they have gold and blue? By the
Because
way,
they split the X-Men into the gold team and the blue team in
Yeah.
the 90s because when Chris Claremont left and they brought them all back to X-Men, they had X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, New Mutants and that sort of stuff. So they had like 32 X-Men
Mhm.
that they needed to do. So they made the two teams, gold
Mhm.
and blue, because that's the colors of their uniform.
Yeah.
Cyclops led blue, Storm led gold. And that was that for like 10 years.
Oh.
So it's
Okay. Nice little Easter egg
canon.
then.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's got Storm and Beast and
Jean and Morph.
Jean and Morph, and because Forge stays down to
Yes.
take care of Cable, and this is something that was confusing to both of us as well. We watched it. It's like this Bastion guy, he's all powerful and he can just do all these things,
But a Sentinel squashing him.
but a Sentinel squashing him, that's a struggle.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
he was tired.
Maybe the
Like
Sentinel
him.
has some weird kind of weight on. Anyway.
Anyway.
It's a bit of a struggle, and Cyclops looks at his team and decides, no, we're gonna talk
We're
to
gonna
him.
chop. How do you remember all of this?
So I watched it twice, and I watched it twice yesterday.
Just cannot remember. Okay,
'Cause
yeah.
I paid bloody
I'm
attention.
literally following it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You did.
Well done.
And then he's like, something like, "My mother warned me about you." Oh, they said like, "No, Professor X, your mother lied to you.
Yeah.
Professor X actually did try to recruit you, whatever." And he's like, "She was trying to protect me, whatever." Oh,
Jean says something about babies. They're having babies, right?
yeah, they're like, humanity isn't scared. They're having babies.
Isn't dying out.
which
They're
is
having
kinda weird.
babies, and he's like, they would rather die.
Yeah, a lot of these babies are gonna be more and more like us. And then I was I was like, gay. But then he points out like, no, this is what the humans have done to you. Oh, because there's like, at some point,
Has the Magneto protocols been? Have we talked about
this
that?
is it now. So
Dr. Cooper.
Dr. Cooper.
Valerie?
Yeah, but what is she doing? Where is she?
With President Kelly.
Is she though? I forget. No, she was with Forge on the ground.
No, you're right. It's because that's normally the job she does. That it's Captain America
and
T'Chaka
Iron Man
and
and
Iron Man.
T'Chaka on the video screen.
Yeah,
And there's also like,
assholes.
you can also see other people. Wait, when does that happen? Oh, I know what it was, because Professor X goes into Magneto's mind, and he's meanwhile back on the astral plane.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Gay, gay. He's trying to get Magneto to like, overcome his sadness or whatever, and there's a brief flash on these waves, this water of a boat, and there's Rogue visible on the boat, because like Rogue's got her own sort of.
She left me.
She left me, yeah, but she's got her own journeys to deal
Yeah.
with. On the boat are silhouettes, and I saw the first time I was like, that's Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver on the boat. The second time I saw it, I was like, that other. I made Tom pause it, and I was like, go back, because that must be Polaris.
That's Polaris.
Polaris.
Just Americanism.
Okay, fine. Yeah, his children.
Please, fucking God, let this cartoon be so successful that they retcon the retcon and just make them all his kids again.
Please.
Because they are a fun pack of kids to have.
Yeah.
And you can make that work. Anyway,
Who's the mom, by the way?
different mums.
So
They're
one
only
mom for
halves.
the twins.
Magda.
Magda.
Magda was the biological mum of Pietro and Wanda.
Yeah.
And I had some chick from, I don't know, Chicago? I don't know. Some other person.
Mother of Polaris.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So yeah, there's that. And
On a boat.
so the reason that they have this schism is because Charles in his unending wisdom
I hate Charles. Anyway, sorry.
redo. This is awful on his part. Like redo the EMP field. Give the Earth its power back, or I will go into your head and force you to do it. I was like, Charles, you dick. Like that's like pretty much that's like a gun to his head. Do it, or
is
I'll
a
force
dick,
you.
but it's also very comic book accurate. That's
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly what Charles does.
Yeah.
Because he's
So
a
when
hypocrite.
when the power comes back, that's when we get glimpses of Daredevil. We get Silver Samurai.
Yes.
We see Cloak and Dagger as well.
Yeah, a lot of Cloak and Dagger in there.
And Omega Red and 2 other characters with Omega Red that I didn't recognize.
Oh, no idea. I
Do-
did see Omega Red, but
Yeah.
oh no, Darkstar was one of them as well, wasn't
Oh.
she? The Russian one.
Is she Russian?
Yeah.
And the other one was
Blonde
what?
Russian
Crimson Dynamo?
I don't know, but one of those
Another
guys.
red person. Anyway.
One of those
If
guys.
you know who we're talking about, listener, write in and
Write
let us
in.
know. So there's like flashes. That's how. So bring it back to Iron Man and Captain America because they've got the power back as well, and T'Chaka, who's on the video screen.
Also, at some point when people are watching the news happen in a window, TV window or something like that, which
Mhm.
seems to be a thing in the 90s, you see Peter Parker and Mary Jane from the Spider-Man 90s show.
I didn't catch that.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because everyone's asking, is like, are we gonna get a Spider-Man reboot,
I mean, Spider-Man.
reboot
would
continuation?
be-
Yeah.
I'd
Anyway,
have to watch all those. Okay,
some of those are really good actually.
so President Kelly takes the difficult decision, and you see the sadness in Cap's face when he's like,
yeah, because
you know,
everyone votes for
approves
it.
the
But yeah.
Magneto protocol. And I couldn't tell. I definitely didn't get it the first time, but the second time, I think T'Chaka is warning him against it because he's like,
Yes.
I couldn't tell. And
Very
obviously
in a very non-confrontational way. It's like
the future will remember.
just think
textbook-
about
no. I wouldn't have. I definitely didn't get it the first time because I didn't know what he was talking about.
But also, not to slag off your nation, sorry, no disrespect, they would have nuked him in a second. They would have 100%, and a few other choice countries, probably mine as well, would have sent nukes.
oh,
They
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
have even talked about it.
Yeah.
No debate. They would have nuked the shit out of it. So, absolutely accurate.
Turns out that the Magneto protocol is sending missiles to Asteroid M2,
Which isn't
blow
very,
it up,
like,
I guess.
that's not very fancy. What, you're sending metal missiles up to nuke him?
That's a good point. Why did you do
You
that?
didn't think this through.
You should have done plastic missiles or something.
Anyways,
Whatever.
you can't do, anyway.
So anyway, they hit the asteroid and it starts falling to Earth. Earth is starting to panic, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't do what we thought I was gonna do because we're dumb humans."
So
and
dumb.
so
Yeah. You're doing
okay,
great.
so
Keep it going. Yeah.
Jean Grey does like a little force field protecting all of the people, and Cyclops is like, "Bastion, come into the bubble, whatever," and he's like, "No." And he just jumps towards the exploding gravity core or something. I'm not quite sure, but he just, instead of wanting to be saved, he jumps into this explosion. And I guess that's the end of him.
Is it kind of like doing black hole kind of crunching stuff, or am I making that up, or just blowing shit up?
It seemed like a bright white light kind of
Okay.
explosion. But I think the implication was that the gravity core or whatever they called it,
Yes.
is being blown up, so that now it's falling to Earth.
Yeah, I think we're done with Bastion. He was a very good villain. The
Mhm.
Prime Sentinel scared the shit out of me. We
Yeah.
don't need him. We don't need him coming back in season 2. We got plenty of other shit going on in season 2, so he could die.
Do you know what's going on in season 2?
Well, we know what happens at the end of season 1.
Well, okay, that's different things.
Yes, but I'm assuming they're going to have to deal with that in
Yeah.
season 2.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
So
fight,
Bastion
fight,
kind
choo,
of-
choo, choo,
yeah,
bang,
they-
bang, bang.
basically, so he's
I
gone.
do love this
Bastion's-
show, by the way. It sounds like I'm really dismissive. Bang, bang,
Bastion
bang,
is
bang, bang,
gone.
bang. I loved
Bastion is gone. You know what? If you haven't seen the show, this doesn't.
This
do
is
us.
perfect. So you can see it in your minds.
Yes, I'm talking about you, Steve. You who have ignored my advice and are listening to us regardless of not having seen it. Well, you're welcome now because we're giving you the breakdown anyway.
Steve. Classic Steve.
Okay, so then they decide, is there any way we can keep this afloat?
Yeah.
Beast is like, oh, maybe there's a chance. So he goes
Yeah,
into the control
yeah.
pod. Oh, meanwhile,
Do we get a little psychic conversation?
yeah. So they
That was
they,
cute.
they go
Did you not
they go
like
into
it?
action. No, it was cute, but no, I'm doing this because I forgot. So back on Earth, while this is happening, we got Cable gets a psychic
Cable's in a
vision.
diner with no arm, just kind of recovering or whatever.
Yeah.
And we get a little psychic projection from Scott and Jean, who just look like parents sending their kid to college. It's so,
Yeah.
like, sweet and humble. It's like,
I promised I wouldn't be the man my father
I
was
wouldn't do what my father did and not say goodbye.
and not say goodbye, which is cute, which is kind of what he did. But he got
Which is exactly what he did do. But
I think Cable had a good point where he was like, because he was like, all those stories about the X-Men, I got angry because I should have been there.
yes, because he should have been there.
Yeah. And Jean was like, you were. And I was like, no, he wasn't.
But he wasn't.
He wasn't. He was gone for like
But he actually
3
wasn't.
days or something like
He
that.
actually wasn't. Although,
wasn't.
no, to be fair, now he is.
Now he is, yeah.
And he is. Because
Yeah.
he will be in those stories just as Old Man Cable.
Cute, yeah.
Stupid Cable.
Stupid Cable.
He's sexy, though.
His voice, whoever that voice actor is,
It's the original Gambit.
Oh yes, it was, yeah. Anyway, it sounds
really
so much
good.
like
Sounds
Josh
like
Brolin.
so much like Josh, right?
Josh Brolin, yeah.
I don't know if he did that on purpose, but he sounds great.
It's
I
great,
love
great.
it. And I'm still obsessed with Valerie Cooper being the original Jean. How she
Yes.
sounds nothing like Jean, but her performance is fucking great, and she gives so much to that character who is so important.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, but I
Good.
love it. Yes, so
So,
they have their little things.
Have their goodbye.
It's time to go. Goodbye, that sort of thing.
So they go back. So Jean and Rogue and Storm, the best X-Men, the most powerful X-Men, are outside
Yeah.
the asteroid.
Because they're the ones who can fly and
Yeah.
kick ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they,
two Omegas and Rogue.
2 Omegas and Rogue is the strongest one.
I love
And
Rogue.
Scott's inside blasting his way. Beast is
Yeah.
trying to like, beat Boop on the controls, whatever. Meanwhile, Morph is with Wolverine.
Meanwhile, does anyone remember that Wolverine got the adamantium pulled off his bones as the finale for the last
Yeah.
episode?
What?
He doesn't even speak
What?
in this one. Like,
What?
he doesn't do anything. Again, it was great because it was exactly, I'm sure you've seen it on socials, the frame of that last moment
Yeah.
is exactly the same as it is from the comics.
Oh.
That horrible, like,
Yeah.
like you can put them next to each other.
Yeah.
And they are exactly the same.
Interesting. Not
It's
surprised.
brilliant. It's so done with so much love. But
I mean,
Wolverine doesn't do anything in this finale.
no.
He's
just-
out. He's just unconscious
He's out.
with a mask on him.
The same way that Rogue was. She was out for most of that one episode. Yeah.
But she showed up.
Recuperating. But
Yes.
so Wolverine, who's not like torn apart, it's just the adamantium is off his bones or something. Like that?
Yes, but it ripped his body to pieces coming out of him. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's
But
on-
he's healing, and so Morph is
yes.
Morph is with him, and Morph is I don't know what prompted it, but Morph turns into Jean and says, "I love you, stay with me," and I was like, "Gay,
Gay.
First of all, gay, but also that's such quite a sort of undertone way, a really nice subtle way to get away with like persons like a non-heteronormative relationship.
It's also been confirmed by Bodemeo that yes, it's not him being Jean to comfort Logan.
Mm-hmm, which
I did think it's like, oh, is it just if he dies, it's like he thinks that Jean loves him and that sort of stuff. But no,
but it was actually Morph.
It's actually Morph saying "I love you,"
Mm-hmm.
and
Which-
it just it hits so true because if you've ever been in love with a straight guy and you know they cannot love you back, it's kind of got that like
Oh yeah, I never thought of that.
because he's not, he doesn't, he loves Jean or
Mhm.
whoever else. So I love great.
Yeah,
Gay.
interesting. Also,
Gay.
all right, so that's
So gay. I love it.
that's the end of Morph and Wolverine for this episode.
Yeah, and for
I
this
think.
season, we're done with
End
them.
of the season.
Back in
What are we doing?
Charles's psychic construct.
Back on the meanwhile, back on
Oh,
the
no, then
astral
we've
plane, we've got he finally he says to Charles like you abandoned me as well, or you
Oh yeah, that's the
lied
bit
to
with
me,
the
whatever.
boat and the rogue thing, that sort of stuff. And it goes into
and he's like, tell me what's your name. He remembers his name is Eric because he's like, I can't remember my parents, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, because
he's
you were a
child.
child
He was
when
a
they
child.
died. That's why you can't, because he thought Charles had wiped it from his mind, I guess. But there's like,
Maybe,
no,
I don't
you
know.
just don't remember them.
Yeah. And then he says, he finally comes around. He's like, oh, I was so and so. We had a dream together. We had a plan. And then the last thing that Charles needed to do was like, can you remember what your name was? You had a
It's like
a
you can't
dream.
remember. You can't remember your parents, and the whole thing's like, even though the X-Men don't resemble each other, we are a family.
Yes.
So obviously,
Yeah.
the core kind of tension.
Yeah.
But
Chosen family.
what was your chosen name?
The name you chose, and that brings him back out of the
Magneto
astral.
lives.
astral crisis. Magneto lives, and he comes out, and he's like,
kind of just goes.
he's like, I got this.
Oh, I got it. Sorry.
I got this. Let me put it back.
Let me just grab that for you. I'll just take this up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Oh, and missiles.
Beep, boop, boop.
Done.
Yeah.
There we go.
All
And
the looters are like, oh my god, we're gonna. They go from like, we gotta stop this mutant crisis to, oh my god, we're all gonna die in this apocalypse, and then suddenly, no, we're fine. Magneto's back.
an emotional roller
And they're
coaster.
cheering.
To be fair, Magneto kind of did sort of cause the crisis because it was his thing that was going to blow them up, but then he stopped it. So yay.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like sailing up, like taking Asteroid M up into the atmosphere.
Again, I was gonna keep it up there now. Oh, then it disappears. I would have got there eventually.
Yeah.
And then it was like this weird, not even an explosion, just sort of like a whoop,
So
like a purple kind of thing.
I'm assuming they will
That's the what the fuck moment.
explain more of how. I'm sure there's a reason why they did it, but in the comics, so there was an original Asteroid M way back, like issue 4. We're talking classic
Way back
1960s. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's had a few of them.
Mhm.
There was the kind of around this 90s sort of time where Wolverine gets his bones pulled out and his mind gets switched off, all that kind of stuff. There's a new Asteroid M, but it was originally Cable's asteroid thing, and it was like it was Greymalkin, which was
Mhm.
his time traveling spaceship asteroid. And then during the Fatal Attraction saga, he finds out that Magneto has found it, stolen it, and rebranded it as Avalon, and that's where
Oh,
they
right.
live, that sort of stuff. So,
Okay.
if that is the case, it is a time traveling asteroid ship anyway.
Oh. Okay.
Which, if you remember in the original series, he goes. Oh no, that's Apocalypse's ship, and he goes through time. Anyway, that's kind of where my mind went. They may clean that up. It may not be that. It may be something else.
Mm-hmm.
But who cares? X-Men
X-Men.
disappears.
And the look on Jubilee's face was the same as mine. I was like, what? What is going on? Fast forward to what? 10?
Okay, so here, that was all great. I was emotional and I loved it all.
I thought it was like, that can't be the very end of it.
No,
But no.
These bits are the bits that I really want to talk about.
Mhm.
There's 3 kind of blocks at the end that
Yep.
we kind of want to talk about.
Yep, for sure.
6 months later, Forge continues to
Oh,
search.
6
for-
months later. Okay.
This is what comicbook.com is telling me.
Yep.
Forge continues to search for the missing X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
as the
He's got a
rumblings
wall
are-
of.
He's got a wall of people, which we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop shows up.
Mhm.
Finally, Bishop's back.
And Forge is like, you come in here thinking that you were friends. I didn't realize how much they're all dressed the same. Forge and Bishop and Cable
It's because
and
it's
Cyclops.
the X-Men uniform.
Team
babes. Blue and gold. Anyway, so what's important, what I would like to talk about now, before we go on to the finale bits, because it's in chronological order.
It's how hot Bishop is. Yeah, I know.
He's so hot. No, that too. But this is something I hadn't thought about. I just thought the big board of
Mm-hmm.
all the faces
Mm-hmm.
was an ode to Days of Future Past
Mhm.
because it's got the stickers over them, which is the
rectangle of what
Yeah.
the status is.
all the
You got
faces
'em.
up on a pinboard and like the different stickers over them.
Yep.
I need a better picture than this. This is too small.
I fucking named them. I named them all
Did you name them all?
on the Didn't I Oh, I did pause it. I paused it and I mentioned it
Oh, I
in
haven't-
my little recording as much as I could see.
So he's looking at a giant pinboard, which I thought was an ode to Days of Future Past when it says who's alive, who's apprehended, and then the only one
Yeah.
missing is Wolverine.
Which it is.
Which, yes,
It's an homage.
but more importantly, which I hadn't even thought about,
Mm-hmm.
did it just show us who the X-Men are going to be in season 2?
Mm.
Yes, it did.
Well, yeah, but also
If this is who are the players on the table, and then everyone with a sticker over them is not available,
I
the
mean
people left could be the X-Men of season 2. Or at least at the
Right.
start of season 2. And if they are, I'm going to cream my pants.
there's a lot of good ones. Okay, you tell me. I couldn't find one.
We've got, but I can't read what it says.
Oh, give it to
Missing,
me.
presumed dead. There
Yeah.
we go. So we've got, obviously,
Charles.
top left, Cyclops, Jean, Storm, Beast, Magneto, Nightcrawler, missing, presumed dead,
That's the whole top row.
Jubilee, and Sunspot. Professor X, missing, presumed dead, Wanda,
Yes. Off-world.
Off-World. Fuck me up. Morph missing, Rogue missing, Oh, Archangel's missing.
Yeah. I thought of that as well. I'm like, why?
That's interesting. But you know who's not missing?
Dust.
Dust, Colossus,
Colossus.
Havoc, Exodus,
Iceman.
Kitty Pryde,
Uh-huh.
Emma Frost, and Ilyana Rasputin.
And Magic, she's in there as well.
If they have a team with Kitty, Ilyana, and Emma,
that's going to be amazing.
even if it's just the first episode and they have them in there with the title. Can you imagine if the title music is just those 6?
That would be amazing!
Oh my god.
Kitty Pryde.
Oh my god, I would fucking cry. And also, this is the first time we've actually had any mention of Kitty in this animated series. And we had Ilyana before we had Kitty show up.
Yeah, because Ilyana is.
Isn't that fucking ridiculous? So that's super duper exciting.
Oh no, this is one I couldn't tell who that is. In the next to Emma Frost in the bottom.
That's Kitty.
No, she looks weird with a blue mask.
Yeah.
Okay, she's one of. I don't know who Exodus is at all.
Oh, but Exodus was on Genosha.
Oh, Havoc, Iceman. Yeah.
Exodus is an Omega level telekinetic and telepath.
Oh,
Magneto's right hand man.
Is he the one that like? Is it Jamie Madrox kind of comes out of him?
Well, someone phases through him and they're like dancing in the streets, that sort of thing.
Oh,
but yeah, he should have helped out.
What does he do? He teleports people.
Telepathy, telekinesis, and can teleport somehow. Please, someone explain how he can teleport. But he's an Omega, so an Omega level telekinetic, the only one we have. So
wait, I thought Jean was Omega level as well.
You're only an Omega for one. He's not for both.
Okay.
That's a little thing they put up. So
fun.
Even if it's just like a little bit,
that's really good.
I would die.
Exodus.
Oh my god, I would fucking shit myself. No, I wouldn't. That's gross. It'd be great to have Colossus as well. Like, he hasn't been given a lot of screen time.
Or Iceman.
Iceman had his one episode here too. Havoc, but Kitty Pryde, fucking hell.
What? I don't remember.
So overdue.
Yeah,
she's not been in. She was in Evolution and all the other ones, but she's never been in the animated series. So overdue. We get Emma back. That'd be great. Iceman.
Dust. We've never seen Dust.
Dust is a great character. Great power set. Really fun for TV. Although mostly involves flaying people alive. So I don't know how. Well, she turns into sand and rips the flesh from their bones.
Okay, well I knew.
So maybe she won't do that, but it'll be fun.
And magic.
Oh my god.
Please.
Which I love her, but they can't do her full story because it's too long and bonkers.
Yeah.
They'll just have to.
No, they'll push it into one episode. The whole thing.
That's true. They'll do it in 15 seconds. It's like she was abducted as a child and she was raped and turned into a teenager with magical powers and has telepathy.
And if you slow it down, if you're listening to this podcast at 1.5 speed,
Nick got excited.
Yeah.
So that's super.
That's block one.
So that is kind of one of the premises for season 2, right? So they're either looking for the X-Men or forming a new X-Men to stop Bishop's
they're gonna
future.
keep looking.
Bit of both, probably. I hope a bit of both because I'm jazzed for that.
Second block. Is we see where the X-Men went.
Yeah.
In time, because Bishop's like, it does not matter where they are, and both Tom and I were like, but when?
But when? I mean, we all shouted that, right? We all knew it was time travel. Yeah.
And so,
who do we see first?
Rogue. You see Rogue first. She's in the sand.
In 3000 BC.
3000 BC, and at that moment, I was
instantly in Egypt. You're like, well,
Instantly, I did it when I watched it by myself, and Tom said it as well when we were watching it together. We both thought Immortus. Because we're dumb, and we thought it was Kang. Because Apocalypse has been in the show already.
Yes, but this is 3,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago. This is his origin story.
He's had his episodes in the original.
So is Magneto. Shut up.
We both thought it was Kang.
You guys are too mainstream. Jeez.
Whatever.
It was obvious.
Apocalypse.
It was Apocalypse,
So
and it's great. And yeah, so they're like, fight, try and save, that sort of stuff. he got a weird thing, and then he pulls down his cowl and
Mhm,
Sevanor.
mhm. Okay, yeah, that's
So
Apocalypse.
they're
They-
3,000 years in the past, and we don't see a couple of them, do we? We don't. So we see Rogue,
We see
Nightcrawler. Do we see Charles?
Rogue and Nightcrawler. Beast is carrying Charles. He's the one that kind of he deals mental and says, "Do not fear us." Magneto walks forward. I don't know where Morph is
We don't know. We don't see
Or
Morph,
Wolverine,
Wolverine,
because they were
or
on.
Storm. There's a few of
Do
them
we
that
not
are.
see Storm? Oh,
There are a few of
gosh.
them that are missing, but they have been confirmed that they're in one of the two. They're not
Wow.
off on a third mystery one.
You know,
So they'll be in
I don't
one.
know. I'll wait till it's canon.
It's what Bo says, so it's canon.
He's not part of it anymore. They
Not
could change.
anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do. It's not gonna be anywhere near enough gay.
I know, not nearly enough choking or heels on people's chests.
Oh, it was so cakey.
Or gay
Magneto
undertones.
Strung up.
Yeah,
a
he's wearing like
Speedo.
pants. He's
Oh,
That was
gay.
gay.
But the others that
So-
we see in 3960
Only
AD,
two others,
two of
Scott
them.
and Jean, are in future.
Yes.
And
Two things. Do you know who that woman is?
I know who none of those people are.
And did you know who that voice was?
No, should
Which
I
I
have?
missed completely
I didn't-
until I saw just now.
I didn't recognize it.
The
No, okay.
voice
Yeah.
was Gates McFadden.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which when you
bless
listen
her.
to it, like, and it's a really good choice
Uh-huh.
for that character. That is Mother Ascani,
Mother Ascani.
who is
Of the-
Rachel. Rachel Summers.
What? Rachel. Okay, spoilers.
The whole show is spoilers.
Yeah, I know.
But it's
for
Mother
me.
Ascani. Yes, but you'll know that. That's important.
You'll tell me eventually at some point. Yeah.
But someone would have told
Right.
you.
Okay.
before.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's their daughter from a different timeline.
A different timeline.
Yeah.
And
So
is
you know-
Rachel and Omega as well? You said.
It's she should be, but we won't go into that
Okay,
because
fine.
Rachel was also the longest running host of the Phoenix Force. But it gets very confusing. We won't go fully into that.
Fine.
She's a Days of the Future Past character.
Mm-hmm.
You did see her when they had the flash forward
Mm.
of the mutants, like we saw Polaris having to do stuff. as
Yeah,
an old
yeah,
woman.
yeah.
And then you see a
Old
woman
Polaris.
with face tattoos building a bridge. That's Rachel.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't that like Bastion's vision or
Yeah,
something like that?
yeah, of the future, that sort of stuff.
Okay, okay.
So, which suits her Days of Future Past.
I didn't know many of
origin
those, but I
stories.
did recognize like an older version of Polaris doing. Does
Yeah.
she basically have the same power set as her father?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's doing the electromagnetic thing. Yeah.
So, yes. So, Mother Ascani, Rachel's there. Very
Mhm.
happy. Her and Ileana are my favorite too.
Are there anybody else in that tribe that's noteworthy? Or is it just her?
No, just the kid.
Just the kid, okay. Who is Nathan?
Little kid Nathan.
Went into the future. That's where he is. And he's a
Yep.
kid now.
Which is a direct adaptation of of the story from the comic book.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
The Adventures of Cyclops. Do you want me to tell you what happens in it?
No.
Well, they've kind of already done it.
Ooh,
They go into the future and
They meet-
raise Cable.
they actually raise him.
So they go psychically into the future, not physically into the future, and they spend 12 years there raising Cable from a baby young boy. So his memory of the people who raised him is actually Scott and Jean.
But how does that timey-wimey conform with the fact that he's an older person and doesn't remember them?
They
Or is it timeline
no.
stuff?
So they after they get married, they were psychically pulled into the future by Rachel because
Mhm.
that's her main power is time travel, but psychically. And so that's not their bodies; they're put in someone else's bodies, so it doesn't look like that.
Oh.
But they still have like a little bit of their powers because of mutants, whatever. But it is
Yeah.
them, so they spend 12 years raising them, and when Rachel, spoiler, dies because she's an old woman,
Okay.
they can't stay there anymore because she's keeping them there. So they
Oh.
go back, and they go back the instant they left. So they spent 12 years, and then they're back in a second, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's
So they
that's
didn't
actually
look
quite
like
lovely.
it really is, yeah. It's a nice way to kind of, and it also makes Jean more of a mum.
More of a
'cause
mother.
She actually raised him.
Because Madeline dies in the comics and she's kind of dead in the show now because she died in Genosha.
She did, and
That's-
I'm really
yeah.
sad she's not coming back.
Yeah. Well.
I really
That is
thought
sad,
they would
actually.
time travel and do it, but I'm proud of them for not doing
Yeah.
that. If I'm
Well, they
honest.
didn't time travel Gambit either.
Well,
But in case you missed it, there's a post-credit scene.
a little wee mid credits, post credits.
Can I do this one?
please.
I do this one because I I had to watch
He's
it
yours.
twice.
He's your man.
I had to watch, yeah, you know, I had to watch it twice in order to really get what I think is the connection. So basically, we have present day Genosha,
Yeah.
okay, and I couldn't tell if it was meant to be like a figure on the ground. We hear a voice saying, you know, all these people, there's such tragedy, whatever, and there's a metal kind of hand picking up what turns out to be a burnt Queen of Hearts. I think it's a Queen of Hearts. It's
Probably.
a playing card, okay?
Yeah.
It's a playing card, so it's obviously meant Gambit. And then it's you see a close up of like Apocalypse's lips saying so much death, smiling, and that's it. I thought the first time I saw that, I thought, okay, bit of a teaser because we know that, which I thought was odd because obviously Apocalypse is already mentioned in the ancient Egypt, and so much, you know, he's gonna be the big bad. I thought it was just a teaser. But then I realized that he's got the playing card to represent Gambit, and he says so much death. And doesn't Gambit become the Horseman of Death at some point?
Sure does. And he looks like how he appeared to Professor X in his telepathic vision when he was in
With the
Shelter.
skull kind
That
of thing.
kind of dark. He was like black and that sort of stuff. That's him in his
Horseman of Death. And is that how he becomes a Horseman of Death in the comics as well, or is it just kind of a tie-in?
No,
Doesn't matter.
No, it's not like no, nothing to do with Genosha. It's different, but
Right.
he does become a Horseman of Death.
We've had Horseman in the show before, I think.
He always has more and more. It's
Yeah.
a revolving door of those characters.
Bless. So he's going to come back in some way. He's not going to have his memories. He's gonna,
Yeah, he's gonna be all evil and all that kind of
all
shit.
evil. Oh dear.
It's gonna be fun.
That's the long game.
That's gonna be fun.
Bo
It's gonna
D'Amato's
be
long game.
That's gonna be fun and
Oh
emotional
my
acting.
God.
His Rogue will come back, then she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Horseman of Death.
Great.
Oh my god.
So we're gonna have Forge and Bishop making new X-Men. We're gonna have
such
these
a
guys
great
in the
tag.
past dealing with Baby and Sabanor.
Mm-hmm.
Cyclops and Phoenix in the future raising Baby Cable.
Which is probably because of Mother Ascani, blah 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 blah. If it's Rachel, yeah.
Yeah. With Rachel,
Which is
hanging,
why
out,
they
hanging
don't-
out with old girl Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the new X-Men will have to fight Gambit and Apocalypse and the new Horseman. Jesus Christ!
What a lineup
Oh.
of stories.
Oh, that makes for a really fun fucking series. When is season 2 out?
I was just gonna say,
If
like, it's
anybody
gonna be
knows.
2 years before we see what they got the animation.
But they did. They filmed. They definitely recorded them back to back, and I assume they started producing them back to back. So it
Oh,
doesn't
they
mean
recorded them back to back.
they filmed 2 seasons. They recorded 2 seasons straight out
That's
because
why
it doesn't take them.
That's why Lenore Zan said in that TikTok, "Don't fret my kittens,"
Yeah.
or whatever she said.
I love Lenore. Oh my god. Which doesn't take anywhere near as long as obviously animating and producing and everything like
Yes.
that. So
Yeah.
I don't know how they're still working on that, but it means we're not going to get a 2-year gap. House of the
Okay.
Dragon style.
Okay.
Because they already started, and they've been renewed for season 3 because obviously they were doing the production of season 2. This did well, and then greenlit for another round of recording. Another round of recording production, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Cool. Yeah.
So we'll have at least 3.
Oh dear.
I'd like 4 or 5, and then I think they can. That's enough.
They're gonna keep going until they run out of stories.
Okay, I'm fine with that too.
Because we're gonna keep watching them, whatever they got.
I'm fine with that too.
All right.
They need to chill out and space out now that if
I
they've
was
been
just gonna say-
renewed.
As a whole, the season as a whole, what are your thoughts?
It's just it. And again, we talked about it before. Chill out, guys. They had to get as many as I feel like they had to get as much as they can in because they didn't
Mhm.
know how many episodes they were going to get, if they were going to get picked up more, if people gave a shit,
Yeah.
what the audience was, that sort of stuff.
How could they not know people are gonna give a shit?
But,
This is the
like,
first
It
X-Men.
could have been 15, 30-year-olds that watched it, and then that's it. Maybe everyone's like bored of
Suppose.
it. Maybe no one cares about X-Men.
I
But
would-
it's so.
Yeah, I get it.
So. Oh my god! It's
You
been
can't afford to have any filler episodes.
You
when
really
when you're
can't.
trying to get
And
it.
this day and
yeah.
shit, Nick, now that you've destroyed us with season 1, if season 2 is as good as season 1, which I'm hoping it is because if it was produced together, it's the
It's a high
same
bar, though.
writers, same that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, true.
So now he's left, but he won't be part when they start doing writing, recording 3. If it's as good, like you'll have us hooked, and we'll just keep coming back forever. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my criticism of it. It's a shame because my main thing. Madeline was wasted. Life Death was way too quick, way
Yeah.
too rushed. Phoenix. Oh, I'm done now. That's the only thing. Is
Yep.
like you've got these great. There's so many great stories, but you just blasted through about 17 of them.
Yeah.
And you didn't
Over-
need to, but who am I to judge?
We did get the thing about the 3-part finale is like it definitely felt like each episode was a distinct story, like with the appropriate cliffhangers and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
I
yet
would
being
just-
one story.
Like
Like-
it kind of like it did a little bit of a jumpy. It's like, who's the bad guy? Oh, Bastion's defeated. Okay, cool. Magneto's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait.
No, he's on our side now.
No, he's not. It's Bastion. A little bit of that I feel was a little bit too all over the place.
Yeah.
because it was trying to do everything.
We-
But it's still great. It was still amazing.
Yeah. That's a way you have to depower the super, super duper crazy powerful people as well, because you've got Magneto who's got this massive chip on his shoulder towards humanity, and he's just kind of gone now because we can't follow that storyline anymore. It's done now. He's gonna be in the past for most of season 2 probably. However he got there, but we'll see.
My other difficulty was I would not have been on Charles's side.
Mm-hmm.
Like all this moral debate and everything at the end, I had a real hard time. Like, no, Magneto's right. And when they said Magneto's right, it's like, good, I'm glad you did. But all that, like, we have to get. It feels like you have to accept them hating you and treating you like shit and killing you. It feels like any other minority is like, you shouldn't be mean to these people who treat you like dirt and oppress you and kill you. You should be nice to them, otherwise they'll never like us.
I get it.
And I think most of our generation and younger are like, fuck you,
Like, excuse
EMP
me?
them. We
Yeah.
all would be on Team Magneto.
Take out their
It's like,
power.
if we had the powers, we would have kicked your ass. So you're lucky that we don't.
I mean,
But I think that's part of the fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was really Cyclops had a really good line where it was like, "No, Rogue, we're not going to, spare him or anything. We're just going to do to him what we've been telling humanity to do, is embrace the future instead of trying to fight it," which I think is a better message. But I think they intended to sort of just, I don't know.
Give him
I
a
don't know. I don't think they thought that far.
Okay, fair enough. He tried to reach out.
Mm-hmm. But there we go. Anything else?
A lot happened, and it could have been 10 episodes about Genosha, and it would have been incredible.
Yeah.
It could have been 10 episodes about Madeline, and it would have been incredible. It could have been 10 episodes about Magneto, 10 episodes about Storm.
But the
and
way
it
that we
would've-
consume media nowadays is
Agreed, I know, it's
10
not-
episodes.
I know, it's the desire for everything to be a million things all at once.
Yep.
But I would have been happy with one season of Madeline, one season of Storm, one season of
You know
Magneto,
what?
one
You know what I
season
think
of
should have
Genosha.
been?
I could have done all of that.
If
But
we-
that's wishful thinking. I also wish, Jerry never left the Spice Girls.
Everything is like computerized now. We could have had 20 episodes, half an hour of each. We'll do five episodes of Madeline, 3 episodes of Life Death, or whatever. And then
I'm not a big fan of the whole 26, the old 23 to 26
It was a
episodes
lot, yeah.
one. I wanted it for this.
mhm.
5 episodes of Madeline, 5 episodes of Storm. That could have been one season. I really wanted that. But
And do people want to sit around for an overarching story that lasts 18 episodes?
yes!
Looking at you, Daredevil. Like, if it
Yeah,
was
true.
continuing on the same thing and never,
It's
as long
the
as it
same
goes somewhere.
It's the same critique we have with all the live action shows. It's like you have
Mhm.
6 hours of stuff and you don't do anything with it.
Mhm.
It's like this needed to be. That's either a movie or make it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, and we're finished.
Or do something,
It's just they haven't got the format quite right. Much closer
We're
with
getting there.
X-Men.
We're getting there.
Much closer with X-Men.
Cool.
Do we need to do a smash or pass? We haven't done one of those in ages. No, because basically we just smash everyone.
We
right?
smash everyone, yeah.
Is there anyone you wouldn't smash?
Is there anyone I wouldn't smash? Val Cooper, no.
I would smash
Um,
Val Cooper if I was straight. Absolutely. Not
No,
really.
I think it's smash
all the
everybody.
X-Men. I would smash all of them.
That's our fastest smasher pass ever.
Just all of them. Yeah,
Charles?
yeah I would. Just to shut him up.
I put that. What would you put in his mouth? He can still talk to you with his mind.
Oh God! You can't even shut him up. Milky Way ghetto boy. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
If there's anything that we forgot, or why don't you, dear listener, why don't you write in and tell us what your favorite part of the finale was, your favorite part of the whole season? What did we miss anything significant? Did we miss any of the Easter eggs? Let us know. Write in at incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com.
You can also find us on the socials. We'll be on TikTok and Instagram at Incomplete Geek.
Give us a like while you're there. Follow us. Chat to us. We like hearing from you.
Yes, please do. And if you have the time, we'd really appreciate if you could
Like
rate
episode?
this podcast.
Give us a rating, yeah.
Give us a rating. Any of that. Share it with any of your
A
nerdy gay
5-star
friends.
rating.
Only a 5
Less
star.
it need to be
To be
said.
fair, I don't think we have any at the moment. So
We
one
got-
5-star.
No, we have
would be
8. We have 8 5-star ratings.
Shut
on
up!
Spotify.
great. 2 of them us.
One of them's my mom.
And then your mom.
One
Fuck. Okay. But yeah, oh my
of
God.
them's Jackson. So whatever.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Jackson. Or send this to your gay or geeky or gay geek friends.
Yes, and if we got anything wrong this episode, it's highly unlikely, but it's always
It's unlikely.
any of the side tracks that we went on.
I did get the name wrong
Some-
of the Dune TV show.
Dune TV show,
3
yeah, there we
times,
go.
so-
So stuff like that, tiny details. We do get things wrong once in a while because it's not like we're complete geeks.
But we are working on it.
Thanks for listening.
Bye bye.
Thank you.